One rapper got slashed in the face while serving his time behind bars, and King Von almost burned the entire jail during his time locked up. These are rappers' most disturbing moments behind bars, and that's exactly what you are going to see today. So, before we start, stick one thing in mind. Fame, money, and fan following don't matter in prison. Only strength and power do. And if you don't have any of these, then you are in for some serious trouble. So let's begin. Number 1. Lil Jay. Let's start with Chicago rapper Lil Jay. A video surfaced of Lil Jay allowing another man to sit in his lap and kiss him while they were both incarcerated. When the clip went viral, Lil Jay didn't stay silent. He addressed it, insisting that he's still respected in the streets and isn't concerned about people's opinions. "I'm still real respected in the streets," he said. "I don't care what they say." But the incident didn't sit well with other inmates, making Lil Jay a target for ridicule. In another clip, Lil Jay confronts an inmate who was harassing someone he'd been speaking to, challenging the inmate directly. After the argument, guards had to step in and remove him from the common area. However, the hostility only intensified. At one point, an inmate threw a cup filled with foul waste at Lil Jay, a calculated attempt to humiliate him. When guards questioned him about the altercation, he simply responded, "I defended myself." Despite his efforts to stay strong, the incident served as a shocking example of the psychological warfare that goes on behind bars. Lil Jay's encounters inside were rough, but his experiences were just the beginning compared to what other rappers would go through in prison. Yup, it's a harsh reality, but that's how prison works. Number 2. CP3. Florida rapper CP3, signed to YFN Lucci, found himself facing a terrifying experience in Fulton County Jail due to gang rivalries. YSL members, known to be adversaries, targeted CP3 in a brutal attack, with a disturbing video emerging that showed him being assaulted. The feud between YFN and YSL intensified after the video surfaced, with CP3 narrowly escaping the altercation alive. Although he managed to survive, it was evident that his attackers aimed to send a message that extended beyond physical violence. Word quickly spread among the rival factions, and not long after, another video leaked. This time, the footage showed a YSL member tied up, beaten, and degraded by YFN members. The attackers attempted to scrape off his YSL tattoo, erasing any signs of loyalty. They were making sure that YSL members knew what it meant to cross YFN's path. The footage served as a chilling reminder of how serious these gang conflicts are, even when the individuals are locked away behind bars in tight security. This retaliatory act marked an escalation in tensions, with CP3's original attack acting as the spark that ignited even more violence. The intensity of these clashes within prison walls only underscores how deeply gang affiliations and vendettas run, with no one truly safe, even in jail. Number 3. Casanova. Casanova faced a life-threatening altercation on June 16th while incarcerated. A man named Ulysses Lugo approached Casanova with a concealed blade and attacked him, slashing his face in an unprovoked assault. But Casanova wasn't one to back down. He fought back with all his strength, refusing to let Lugo have the upper hand. By the time guards arrived to intervene and separate the two, Casanova had retaliated, inflicting cuts on Lugo's face as well. This violent exchange raised questions among the prison community, as it was unclear why Lugo had specifically targeted Casanova. Rumors swirled that the attack might have been spurred by a letter Casanova had written to the judge presiding over his case. Some speculated that this letter might have sparked resentment or anger within certain inmate circles, leading to the brutal confrontation. While there was no official confirmation of these theories, the rumors only fueled tension, with people wondering if further conflicts would erupt. Despite the speculation, Casanova remained tight-lipped about the incident, choosing not to elaborate on the motives or details surrounding the fight. His resilience in the face of danger became another layer of his public persona, adding to the sense of mystery and danger that had always surrounded him. Casanova's clash with Lugo became a defining moment of his incarceration, and it left prison staff on high alert. Number 4. King Von. King Von's time in jail was marked by a series of wild incidents, setting him apart from others who tried to keep a low profile. Von was fearless, even in the high-stakes environment behind bars. In one clip, Von and a partner can be seen attacking another inmate, brazenly ignoring the fact that a guard stood mere feet away, watching the whole thing unfold. The jail guard didn't intervene, seemingly overwhelmed by the intensity of the scene. Later, when prison officials questioned Von about the altercation, he kept quiet, refusing to reveal any details, which only added to his intimidating reputation. Another incident involved Von managing to slip out of his handcuffs, an impressive feat that allowed him to go after 051 Freaky, a very well-known rival. Despite the marks on his wrists from the cuffs, Von didn't offer any explanations to guards about how he'd managed to escape his restraints. His boldness didn't stop there. In another fight, 2 inmates were attacking one of Von's rivals. Von jumped in without any hesitation, escalating the violence even further. When a guard later tried to get some information from him, Von stayed tight-lipped, maintaining his tough, unbreakable demeanor. Throughout his time in jail, Von's reputation only grew, and each altercation he was involved in seemed to add another layer to the legend he was building behind bars. His fearless actions are what earned him the respect and admiration of his fellow inmates, as well as a reputation that would follow him beyond bars. Number 5. MoneySign Suede. MoneySign Suede, a rapper with a complicated past, was serving time for a gun charge. He had openly stated his desire to leave gang culture behind, but prison politics made it hard to escape that world. Despite his intentions, Suede's decision to distance himself from gang life reportedly rubbed some inmates the wrong way. A few months into his sentence on April 25, 2023, prison guards conducted a routine check but couldn't locate Suede. After an extensive search, they eventually found him in the prison shower, bleeding profusely from a stab wound to his neck. The wound was pretty severe, and despite the guards' efforts to save him, Suede succumbed to his injuries. The incident left prison staff and inmates shocked and confused, with many wondering whether his attempt to avoid gang affiliation had put a target on his back. His tragic death is now under investigation as a possible homicide, and there's speculation that his distancing from gang activities may have contributed to the violent outcome. Suede's passing sent a stark message about the dangers of trying to go against the grain in prison culture. His story highlights the risks of attempting to leave a past life behind, especially within the confines of a prison environment where gang affiliations can determine your safety. Suede's journey, cut short in such a brutal manner, underscored the harsh realities that inmates face daily. Number 6. Ksoo. Rapper Ksoo's time behind bars has been marred by conflicts, not just with other inmates, but reportedly with correctional officers as well. Facing 2 murder charges, Ksoo found himself at odds with a guard, which led to a troubling incident captured on video. In 2021, footage surfaced showing a correctional officer slamming Ksoo to the ground in what appeared to be an unprovoked act of aggression. The video quickly went viral, sparking outrage, especially from Ksoo's family. His grandmother filed a complaint with prison authorities, but officials later stated there was no evidence of misconduct on the part of the officer involved. Ksoo's struggles in prison didn't end there. According to YNR Slug, a fellow rapper and rival affiliated with Fulio, Ksoo has faced ongoing issues with inmates as well. Slug claimed that Ksoo had been in multiple altercations, suggesting that his time in jail has been anything but peaceful. Despite these claims, no additional footage has emerged to substantiate Slug's account of events. The tension between Ksoo and others, both inmates and staff, highlights the hostile environment he's faced behind bars. Ksoo's experiences underscore the complexities of prison life, where enemies and allies are sometimes difficult to distinguish. His encounters have made his incarceration a challenging chapter, marked by both external and internal struggles as he navigates the dangers of the prison system. Let's hope that Ksoo's time behind bars will be over soon so he can return to his music career and leave this turbulent chapter of his life behind. But for many incarcerated individuals, the challenges do not end upon release from prison. Number 7. Tay-K. Tay-K's rebellious spirit has followed him behind bars, where he's continued clashing with authority. Serving a 55-year sentence, Tay-K's reputation for defiance has not waned. Reports depict him as an inmate who frequently challenges prison rules. Known for verbally sparring with guards and even throwing wet paper at them, Tay-K's behavior escalated when he allegedly stabbed a guard during one altercation. This unyielding defiance only complicates his severe sentence, bringing the risk of additional disciplinary actions that could further extend his time behind bars. For Tay-K, these incidents reflect his larger-than-life persona, one that refuses to conform, even within the strict confines of the prison system. His actions behind bars reinforce his image as someone who refuses to be subdued, regardless of the consequences. Each altercation adds to his record, making his future even more uncertain. Many speculate about how Tay-K's rebellious nature will impact the rest of his sentence and whether he will eventually find a way to adapt to prison life. His ongoing clashes with authority paint a challenging picture of a young man unprepared to change his ways, even as he faces a lifetime of incarceration. Number 8. Mack. Mack, another rapper who has faced intense challenges while locked up, endured a brutal fight with a blood gang member that left him missing a tooth. During an interview, Mack recounted the encounter, describing his opponent as an intimidating figure standing at 6'4" and weighing over 300 pounds. The two clashed in a fierce altercation, and despite Mack's resilience, he came out on the losing end, ultimately losing a tooth in the struggle. This violent encounter underscored the harsh realities of prison life, where physical strength and survival instincts often go hand in hand. For Mack, the experience was a stark reminder of the ever-present threats within the prison environment. In prison, gang affiliations play a significant role in daily dynamics, often dictating alliances and enemies. Mack's altercation served as a testament to the dangerous situations inmates face behind bars, where conflicts can erupt suddenly and with brutal consequences. Despite the physical setback, Mack's resilience remained unshaken, and he continued to adapt to the volatile surroundings. His story illustrates how prison life can transform individuals, forcing them to confront threats they may have never encountered on the outside. For Mack and others, each day brings the challenge of navigating a complex world where one's safety is constantly at risk, highlighting the intense pressures and brutal realities of incarceration. Number 9. King Von's jail fire incident. Among King Von's various altercations, his jail fire incident stands out as particularly reckless. In April 2017, while held at Cook County Jail, Von and other inmates set fire to their cells in an act of rebellion. Smoke filled the hallways, and the flames grew dangerously close to spiraling out of control. Although the fire eventually subsided without major damage, it showcased Von's defiance even in the face of confinement. For him, jail was no reason to suppress his fiery spirit, a mindset that constantly put him at odds with authority. This incident was more than just an act of defiance. It was Von's way of asserting control in a setting designed to take it away. The prison staff saw firsthand the lengths he was willing to go to resist the system, cementing Von as a figure unwilling to bend, even under confinement. His audacious actions reminded everyone that his will couldn't be extinguished, not even by prison walls, because his passion was too strong. Number 10. FBG Butter. Lastly, we have FBG Butter, whose story is a painful mix of betrayal and violence. So, before we get into that, remember, don't cheat, don't betray, and definitely don't steal from your friends or co-workers. It never ends well. Alright, now let's back to Butter. Once close with Lil Jay, the two became enemies after a falling out. Rumor has it that Lil Jay ordered a hit on Butter, resulting in an ambush by 3 inmates. Butter described the attack in harrowing detail, from getting his hair pulled to being violently thrown to the ground. This wasn't just a fight, it was a personal vendetta from someone he once trusted. Butter's story illustrates the volatile alliances within prison, where friendship can turn to hostility overnight. The attack was more than just a physical ordeal. It served as a harsh reminder that in prison, trust can become a deadly liability. For Butter, every day in prison became a test of resilience, forcing him to constantly look over his shoulder in an environment where even former friends could become threats. His story captures the emotional and physical toll of survival in prison, where betrayal stings just as deeply as any wound. So, what do you think about these rappers' experiences behind bars? Do you think they will be able to be a better person, or will the gang mindset continue to dictate their actions? Well, let us know your opinions in the comment section below. And as we always say, if you find this video interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for amazing content like this.